Kathy, hey,
Oh,
how
say
are you?
cool. Yeah.
That's my little intro, man. I love that little thing, man. It
Yeah.
goes and goes and goes.
I
Kathy
know.
Courtney,
I'm
you
scared,
know
say cool.
what? There's nothing to be scared of, man. It's the crazy
Huh?
folks that make the money there, right? We
Well,
got
I
some
heard you
people
were
join us.
loud and what? Loud and crass and full of
Full
gas
of
or
gas. There you
something
go.
like
Yeah,
that.
that's it.
That's what you got me scared.
Hey, listen, Courtney, man. One of the first questions that my good friend, or now because I said she was my good friend. Oh man, why can't I think of her name? Oh no,
Hmm.
Chauncey fam. When we started our interview, Chauncey looks at me. She goes, "Hey, boxers or briefs?" I was like, "What?"
I know. And you didn't answer because you're commando.
Because I was commando at the time. I spent the summer commando. Well, not everyone that knows me. My wife is watching. She's probably like, "You telling everybody that you're going commando." What's up, everybody out there? Put a little like or something in the comments. Let me hear you. Let me see you, and so I can say what's up to you. I'm here with Courtney. I mean Kathy Courtney. She's a
Hmm.
two first name lady, so you know she's
That's right.
insane, right? And Kathy is out in Reno, Nevada. You know, the second greatest place on earth. You know, New York, and then every place else, right? And then I'm just messing with you,
Well,
Kathy. I'm just messing
it's
with you.
your show, so you can say whatever you want to say.
No,
I'll have
man.
my
I
own
was looking
opinion.
at the horses behind you. You were talking about you in the last. We were talking on our last platform, and you
Yes.
had this beautiful background with these horses behind you. And you tell me those are the wild horses of Reno,
Wild horses in Nevada. Yep, we got
of
them.
Nevada. I am a little bit envious of that. So let's not pretend like I'm not a country boy at heart that really wishes that he can go outside and see some wild horses.
So we're not pretending that New York's the greatest now?
No, ma'am.
Is
No,
that it?
ma'am. No, ma'am.
Okay.
Just the greatest pizza
It's
in New
wow,
York,
yeah,
right?
in
Yeah,
bagels.
yeah, and bagels. Thank you. Thank you for even mentioning that. Okay.
It's the
Um,
water.
I, I have spent so much time in Nevada, mostly in Vegas. When I lived in California, I went to Vegas every weekend. And
Hmm.
no, I'm not a gambler, but I did like to party and play.
Hmm.
And somebody introduced me to Reno, and they were like, "You don't need, Xanax when you leave Reno, right? Like you don't need to like calm down when you leave Reno." And so I actually enjoy Reno a lot more
Yeah,
than Vegas. But don't tell my Vegas friends that.
two different worlds, that's for sure.
Two very different worlds. Uh, so we're here. I got a bunch of friends on here. What's up, everybody? Share this. If you see this, share this. If you know somebody that's out on the West Coast, Kathy is a powerhouse agent. Well, let me let tell everyone about you anyway, right? So who are you? Where are you? And how lucky am I to be able to interview
I don't know about that, but
you?
yeah. So I live in Reno on purpose. I
Hmm.
started out my real estate career in South Florida, West Palm Beach to be exact, and had a great time there. But I was just, things had changed in my life, and I said, "That's it." I packed up my then 7-year-old daughter in an Airstream trailer, and we went on walkabout and drove across the country and had all kind of craziness happen to us, and have been here ever since about 2005. And I just love it here. I've been been in real estate for a while, and now I'm really focusing a lot on land, ranches, horse property, which includes the luxury space, and living the dream in terms of my real estate business and my life here. When you get to a certain age in your life, you get to be able to make choices based on
Hmm.
what it is you enjoy. And I've earned that right, so that's what I'm doing.
That's I don't know if you've ever heard me say it, but every place I look at to live, I look for hammock space, right? Like like everybody's looking for bedrooms and bathrooms. I just want to see, is there a space for my hammock? That's all I'm looking for, right?
I call it elbow room. I specialize in properties with
Yeah.
elbow room. Yeah.
Hey, listen, I might be talking to you about Reno soon, man. And I don't
There
know
we
if I
go.
can get the wife to agree to it. Talk to me about your market and like the demographics that sort of dictate your market and what have you. Who are you selling to, and how often are they selling and buying?
Well, so the demographic, so Reno is kind of a unique, real estate is local, right? That's what we
Hmm.
say.
Hmm.
And Reno, northern Nevada. So in Nevada, you've got northern Nevada and southern Nevada and 8 hours of desert in between. And they are light years different. So In northern Nevada, we have some green, even though the state's a desert. We have the Sierra Mountains. We have
Mhm.
Lake Tahoe is about 30 minutes from where I'm sitting. We've got some of the best skiing in the world. Right now, there's a little bit of snow on the ground. This is January. There's a little bit of snow on the ground. But if I want snow play, I can just drive up and over to the lake, and I've got, there's 10 feet of snow
Cheese and rice.
close to ski resort, which is about 20 minutes where I am. So it's just crazy. It's insane views. I mean, the mountains, and it's really temperate weather. So
Uh-huh.
it's a great place to be. Not a ton of people, but the most people we're seeing come to, if you're coming to Nevada, you are most likely coming from California,
Okay.
because it's
Okay.
a great place to live and have no state income tax. Being you're in New Jersey, right?
New Jersey, New York, yeah.
Okay, so there you go. So this is another thing to talk to the wife about. No state income tax. Our property taxes are still low relatively because we have gaming revenue. Close to all those activities. If you're coming from the Bay Area, it's still close to, your friends and relatives and things like that. And we are becoming the tech hub of the West Coast. Fun fact, not little known fact, they're kind of calling us the tech desert now. We have uh, Apple has
Okay.
got a data center here. Google has a data center. eBay, Switch has got a big data center, huge one, the biggest of its kind. And we just had Microsoft buy land for a data center last week. So we've got crazy influx of the tech industry.
I speaking of tech, I was trying to figure out how to make sure our headphones and microphones were not getting the whole background, and didn't
Yeah.
realize that I was pulling in stuff from the MacBook. So we're gonna deal with that tech industry. That tech industry is driving a lot of the migration around the world,
Yes.
right? And what we're noticing here on the East Coast is that like only 30% of the six-figure salaries have actually gone back to in-person work, right?
Hmm.
Everybody wants to be virtual now. Like after the
Hmm.
pandemic, they said, "Well, shoot,
Hmm.
why did I drive an hour and a half to get to work, and
Hmm.
fighting through traffic and parking for $80 a day, et cetera, spending $100 a day on lunch, and it's expensive over here. Let me just tell you that,
Yeah.
right?" Um, the big talent is now saying, if I can work from anywhere and still be in New York, then where
Hmm.
do I want to go?
Hmm.
And we're seeing a lot of that eastern corridor, we call it that 95 north south corridor,
Hmm.
right, is starting to populate a little bit more of what used to be the commuters, but are now the telecommuters, and
Hmm.
they're a lot happier. So property values in the surrounding areas are starting to go up,
Hmm.
right? Yeah, we don't. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, there's some horse farms and stuff like that in Greenwich and stuff like that, but we don't have that kind of space, right? We're a vertical market,
Hmm.
not an acreage market, right? And so, what we're noticing is that the more the more high end techie folks that can afford the larger houses and the larger mortgages are actually moving away from New York, and there's a lot more value to be had in New York now.
Hmm.
And it's a best kept secret because it's happening under our nose,
Hmm.
right? And so, what used to be $4 million in New York for a single condo unit is now half price. And everybody's like, "Oh, it's terrible." No, that's still half price. It's still inflated value, but it's just more along the lines of where people are willing to spend their money now. And so our demographic is now more tech like yours,
Hmm.
right? More tech sector stuff like yours, and more willing to be remote, more willing to telecommute for that
Hmm.
tech sector job. That's
And technology is supporting it even more. So I have clients here, like I said, I do some work with ranches and properties with a lot of elbow room. I had a client who bought a 630-acre piece of property from me, gorgeous property, and she ran her business in Russia from there.
oh wow, wow,
And this was a few
wow.
years back, so she had to use satellite and things like that, and it was really kind of problematic for her to be able to be in communication. But now we've got like Musk again, he's got a Starlink up, And so now, really, from even the most remote locations around here, all you can do is, you just get your Starlink stuff for $100 a month, and you're good to go. So
You're good to
you
go.
can be. We had when the pandemic first started, there was a tremendous, tremendous, tremendous influx to uh, area right around the lake. Half of Lake Tahoe is California, half of it's Nevada, and half of the Nevada half is public lands. There's 85%
Oh,
of the
wow.
state is public lands. So there's limited places to live, and there's a place called Incline Village that just went crazy with people coming who were able to both telecommute and also could physically get back to visit mom and pop or their friends or things like that. So it's a kind of a win-win there. And now I have clients who they say, hey, give me 40 acres out in the middle of nowhere, and I'm going to work from there and come into town once a week. So there's a thing called a Burning Man. Maybe you've heard of Burning Man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. My
Yeah,
son wanted
Burning
to
Man.
go.
I love Burning Man time of year. I always go down to Whole Foods and watch the circus as everybody comes in to pick up their stuff. But even places, and that's in Gerlach, Nevada, which is like desert. But now we're starting to even see some people coming in and say, "Hey, I want a homestead out in the desert, or I want a ranch that's a little farther out." And the demographic of the people who are kind of can do that now is really changing.
Yeah, it's huge, and so speaking of demographics, then the people that can do it, it's like I'm looking at sort of a decentralization of demographics now, right? So like used to be you wanted to get this type of person, they were going to be the Wall Street type person, they were going to live in Gramercy Park, or they were going to live
Mhm.
in Tribeca in New York. These folks are now not so local, right? Real estate is not so local for us anymore, right? And so, like being in a cloud-based brokerage, I'm doing deals with agents in Georgia, I'm doing deals with agents in Florida, I'm doing
Mhm.
deals with agents in Texas, and hopefully some Reno, Nevada deals. It's really sort of opened my eyes to how local my whole nation is, right? And sort of dealing with the demographic of the person that really wants value and a valuable home versus I need
What's the
there's a shift,
lifestyle?
right, versus I need to live here. Now it's I want this lifestyle there, right? And so
Mhm.
that's what we were sort of talking about. I
Mhm.
was talking to Gogo. I did an interview with Gogo. You know Gogo, right? Yeah,
Mhm. Yeah.
everybody knows Gogo, right? And Gogo said some really powerful stuff to me. She said she wants three things. She wants economic freedom, she wants temporal freedom, and she wants geographic freedom.
Mhm.
She wants to go where she wants to go. She wants to spend her time the way she wants to spend her time. And obviously, economic freedom is the freedom to do whatever with your money. And it just struck a chord with me, as those are her like foundational principles. Those are the three legs to her stool, right?
And as a realtor, you
Mm-hmm.
mentioned cloud-based brokerage.
Mm-hmm.
So the experience I had, which I didn't expect I was going to have when I went to a cloud-based brokerage, was that I came because I wanted a little more zhuzh, a little more excitement, or a little more something. Because I've been around for a while, and what I found is they talk about real estate as local. Well, in terms of the real estate we do as realtors, you're in a kind of a little real estate bubble.
Mm-hmm.
And being cloud based is like people like you, like GoGo. What did the it's the information, the ideas, the inspiration now is global, is cloud based, and the access to it is just it's been a mind blowing experience, frankly.
It definitely changed the way that I looked at real estate. When I first came over here, I say this all the time, Kathy. When I first came over here, I made a huge mistake, right? And people are like, "What? You made a huge mistake?" I'm like, "Yeah." I thought this was just going to be a better version of KW. It's just gonna, it's just I'm just pivoting to another profit share, and it was going
Yep.
to do the same things that KW did. No disrespect to my KW folks, but
Um,
it didn't match up the way that it was supposed to for me, right? And I learned a lot, and I also learned what I didn't want, right? And so when I came over, I was thinking of the limitations of the past, right? Maybe just loosening some of the limitations of the past. And what I didn't realize is that there was no limitations to me over here. Like I literally, I own my own business. I look at real estate so much more as a business. The diversity over here from the top to the bottom is just like, you couldn't even describe the diversity. It is everything and everyone.
Well, and I, piggyback on that, I didn't really grasp the limitations that I was living within. I thought, because you're talking to people, you could do this or that, but it's when that kind of cloud got lifted, I thought, whoa, hello. I didn't understand how much of a bubble I was in until I got out of it.
Until you got out of it. And that's exactly how I feel. Like it was like it was so a great example is like, I have been sort of putting together pieces from all over the place in order to make business work. We call it the Frankenstein monster, right? And when I came over here, I was doing the same thing. I was sort of trying to force this. Hey, Kelly, I see you. Hey, Kel, and Mimi. Hey. Tracy, hello, Montana.
Montana, yeah.
Yeah, Tracy said that's the best place on earth. And
Montana
Harjeet
or Reno?
says, lose the limitation. Jeet is in the place to be. Harjeet is one of my favorite people in the entire world. I don't know if you've met her. I think you should meet her. She's over here with us. But so what I discovered over here was it went agent, idea, execution, support. Right. And so if I repeat that, agent, idea, execution, support, right? That's how my business grows over here. Agent, idea, execution, support. Where I've been has been like broker, limitation, see if it fits. Yeah, frustration, like see if it fits in the model, and then we'll support you if it does, right? Like if it works out, then we'll support you. And that's not to be unkind to the agencies in the past. It's just that's the way it had to work. The broker model was like, this is growing based on my name, and I don't experience the same thing over here.
I just had an epiphany, because this is real. This is real time stuff, because over my career, I've always been wanting to do things a different way, wanting to grow teams before teams were a thing, transaction processor. I had to pretend she was hidden in the closet when she was really an hour away. Crazy stuff. And so I was always kind of fighting the system for the limitations they were putting on me. And I was doing it consciously, but I did not realize until just this second how I had been put back into that mold that I always fought so hard to get out of. So thank you.
Yeah, and so no, thank you. See, like the thing is that so I get to work with some of the greatest agents in the world, right? And like you are a coach. You run your coaching company. You have experienced the frustration sometimes of really seeing potential in people that they don't see in themselves. Am I right? Am I putting words in your mouth?
Absolutely.
Right. And so
it happened an hour ago.
So as a company, as a coach, and as an agent, I've gotten frustrated in seeing the potential in a company and a brand that they don't see in themselves, right? And I've had no power to change that in the past, right? Like, it's just, it is what it is. And here, I have all the power in the world.
And a popular concept these days is disruptive technology or disruption. And I think what's happened is that we're a huge disruptor, right? And it flipped the whole model on its head. You and I both know all about that. And now we're really starting to see the fruits of the labor, right? What people are, now that it's agent first, right? And the agents are taken and running with it, supported by the model, the brokerage. It's been exponential.
It is exponential.
And the the spread of ideas and the ability to look at something from a different way that I didn't even realize I wasn't doing. So
That's the
you
huge
shine a
mistake.
light
Like,
on it.
so the huge mistake was like I kept trying to do it the old way
Mhm.
instead of just letting it go. And you know, over here at C2C, we believe we make a mess and we clean up the progress, right? So we dump the Legos on the floor and let's see what we can build with it instead of like, here's your red Lego, you know, keep building with this red Lego, and you know, these are the 5 things that you can build with these Legos, you know. There's a lesson that I was taught when I first started coaching, that if you asked a room full of adults what you could do with a paper clip, you could probably get maybe 100 different things. If you asked a room full of fourth graders what you could do with a paper clip, you'd be exhausted by the time you got to the end of the first page, right? There'd be thousands of things. They'd start asking you questions like, what's it made out of, and what color is it, and how big is it? You know, we just, if we allow ourselves the freedom to think the way we did in the beginning, right, and the reason why we became entrepreneurs, we'll get a lot further in this business and in this life.
Well, thank you for putting it that way because that's what I was trying to say.
We are the divergent ones, man.
Yeah.
We keep breaking shit and seeing what we can build with it.
Yeah.
Hey, so Courtney, I'm
Do
literally
it again.
talking to 7,000 people at the same
It,
time. So
it
Kathy,
happens to me about 10 times a day, maybe more.
well, if you talk
I'm
to me,
used
it'll
to
be
it.
happening all the time. So Kathy, listen, I am I have to sort of draw this to a close.
Mhm.
You already know my scenario, and everybody out there that's watching that knows and loves me. You know, mom is
You know, we
recovering
know
and
it's
doing
neither
well.
boxes nor briefs.
That's right. Kathy, you got somebody watching. I'm not sure who it is, but we should say hey to them.
Hey,
And so we are encouraging you all to share this. There's some good information that was spread. Kathy, if we wanted to do some deals together, right?
mhm.
You know, what's your? You said you do horse land and this and that. Let's talk to me about the ideal investor out there, and if maybe I can bring somebody to you.
Sounds like the ideal investor,
Yeah,
someone who's looking for growth.
somebody's looking for growth. Okay. And if
Mhm.
there were agents that wanted to grow with you, agents that in your area and beyond that wanted to sort of go with the Kathy Courtney a real estate group, you know, are you looking to grow with agents, and you know, how do we get in contact with you?
Well, yeah, and I think we may be having one new benefit that we're going to be bringing to the team, Sekou. All right, should we tell them?
You can tell them, it's up to you.
Well,
You know,
you know, if you like kind of what you're hearing with Sekou here today, because I love it. You know, I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. We're going to be bringing Sekou to our whole organization.
we're going to
Yay!
coach
Starting
together. We're going to
next
grow
month.
together.
Yeah,
It's going to
and
be
that
awesome.
includes the agents who are working with us, and also the agents who are aligning with us.
I like
So
that language.
to get in touch, is that what you said? I mean, get in
Yeah. How
touch.
do they get in touch with
Well,
you?
you know, my phone number, my email. So email is Kathy, Kathy, at expnv, as in exp in the state of Nevada.com. And
Hmm.
then, you know, I got a direct sell right here. Here's
Well,
just
what's
one
that?
right
You
here.
want to publish it, or you want to have them look it up?
I'll publish it. I don't care.
I'm down with you. What is it?
775 225 6961. Hotline direct. But if you send me to spam calls, we'll
Tell
hunt
them to
you
text you.
down.
Tell them to text you first.
Text me first so I can
well,
make
Court,
sure you're real.
well, Kathy, it has been my absolute pleasure, and I'm sharing this with you all out there in the world. So you know, I only work with the best in the world. You know that I grow with the best, and I only work with the most motivated buyers, sellers, and realtors in the world. This is a partner of mine, and we will be growing together. So if you have deals on that side of the world, that Reno, the northern Nevada real estate market with
Anywhere in
8 hours,
northern Nevada, by the way.
anywhere in northern
A
Nevada,
lot of
this is a
diversity.
good one. This is a good person to know. I absolutely love you, Kath, and I
Um,
love the fact that we get to grow together. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Kathy Courtney. Anything you want to say to them before we end?
Well, no, I'm strapped to the rocket, buddy. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's grow. I'll see you soon.
Okay.